Oh, oh, okay, good enough, good enough. What is up, guys? We are back for another Warcraft 3 replay from the Netease ladder, and yeah, not much has actually happened. Aside from GCS ending, GCS Winter ending, I didn't actually see who won the finals. I am hoping to watch that later on, just I wasn't able to watch it live because yeah, as soon as school and exams have finished, I went straight to work, and I work like every weekday. And yeah, now it is the weekend, and yesterday I couldn't upload because I went out, watched a movie. I watched Fate, which I've been looking forward to for the entire year, and that was good. I couldn't upload at the night because I had to update Windows, and it failed for some reason when I woke up, so I have to update it again, but I think I will upload before I start updating, so yeah, I'll try and make that happen. We have FoCuS spawning in. Ooh, yeah, that's not the right text overlay. There we go, that's more like it. And we'll switch back to the game. We have FoCuS spawning in as the blue orc player in the bottom left, and we have 120 spawning in as the red undead in the top right. These guys have played each other, at least on the channel, and it was FoCuS bringing out with a victory versus 120, who went for a very strange Dreadlord third. I don't exactly remember if he actually did anything with the Dreadlord, but FoCuS did very nice jobs with ensnare trapping and just assassinating with the Blade Master, who will be returning as the first hero for FoCuS. I mean, it's almost like giving yourself a handicap if you don't start Blade Master first, honestly. The Blade Master is just such a superior hero compared to the other three, and I guess compared to the other tavern heroes as well. Unless you go like super cheese, if you want a consistent and just overall superior hero, it's always just gonna be the Blade Master. Death Knight popping out for 120, who will be getting it rather delayed. Death Knight, as he did go for, I believe, Graveyard first, which we do see why with the first Crypt Fiend. 2 ghouls as well, so I believe it was Graveyard first. But we have a 2 relics, so I don't know. But either way, hopefully he doesn't suffer from lumber problems with his only 2 ghouls, but he is going to get his number 3 very soon. Blade Master going for the High Priest, able to pick up a replenishment potion as well as the +6 claws from, I believe, this Ogre Warrior camp here. There's Ogre Warrior camp, right? Oh wait, this is the Last Refuge. Where would he have picked it up from? Wait, this is an Ogre Warrior camp, is it not? It should be. I mean, yeah, +6 claws as well, so I knew I didn't get confused. I just got confused on where he usually is. I thought this was Total Rock for some reason, and I was looking for the corner Ogre Warriors there, but it is not. Oh, sold a... I didn't see what the item was, but I guess you can just go back a couple seconds and see it. As I did have the Blade Master hover over. That was, I believe, an aura item that he sold, so quick 200 gold there for the orc player. And it seems like he's just going to hover over. The undead player is going to be spotted very soon, as Windwalk is going to expire. And there we go, expired. Horribly timed there. That is going to give away his position and most likely arouse the suspicion of the Death Knight, who regardless will be able to pick up the Ogre Magi with Death Coil and pick up the item. It is going to be +2 ring. So not too spectacular for FoCuS in terms of creepjacking. He maybe could have been a little bit more patient, or I don't know, maybe he should have started attacking a lot sooner. He didn't really gain anything off of that. And so far, so good for FoCuS. He has a lot of money in his bank. I noticed that this thing, this overlay, is way too small for for 1440p resolution. So, I don't know. I might have to switch which screen Warcraft 3 goes on now, because it's I don't know, it's very hard to see. I guess on a YouTube video as well. Just some considerations I should make for the future. Another +6 clause gets picked up by the Death Knight here. So, I mean, the Lich is gonna be welcomed with a couple of good items as soon as he pops out. Halls of the Dead has been completed, and the Lich is gonna start immediately, as well as tier 3. So, both players just already knowing what they want to do, and I believe it's just going to be standard. Shadowrun does pop out, but we do see a Fortress coming out for FoCuS, which is again not something that I usually expect and have no idea what it's exactly for. So yeah, it's a little confusing here, but we only have one bestiary, no Spirit Lodge, so this could potentially be double bestiaries, maybe mass raiders, or we could have like raiders and wyverns. It's definitely something I have not seen before. A single bestiary into tier 3 into question marks? I have no idea. Ogre Magi is going to get taken down, and he will drop the Wand of the Wind, so I guess it's an alright item, especially since his opponent will have very few Crypt Fiends out, so able to hit those targets is really important. And the Lich is going to get Hex surrounded here, and he will die, giving level 3 and level 2 over to the Blade Master and Shadowhunter respectively. Kind of a bad pick on kind of a bad turn of events here for 120. He did know that his opponent was up there because of his skeletons, but I guess he overextended a little too much. I guess underestimated the Hex potential on the slowing the movement speed and all that, and he just took damage for it. Ring is going to be dropped for the Boots of Quathalas. Again, that is just another damage item for the Blade Master taken away from him, so yeah, I mean, honestly, if things were going FoCuS's way in terms of the right place at the right time, he would have picked up the claws earlier from this Death Knight, and he would have picked up the Boots of Quathalas from his own camp. That would have given him a +12 damage, and then another +5 with his Orb of Lightning. So this Blade Master could have been an absolute monster, but thankfully 120 is going to control that a little bit by picking up the items himself. And Turret Chieftain comes out as the third hero here, so honestly the only reason I would see Fortress Tech popping out here is for the ability to get that third hero. But is that worth not going for any Spirit Walkers, not going for any of a second bestiary maybe? We do have a Wallmobile placed down, so we could be seeing Troll Headhunters maybe into Berserkers. I have no idea. I believe the Wand of the Wind got sold. Yeah, the Shadowhunter did sell it earlier on. And the Healthstone, Lifestone, Healthstone is gonna get picked up by the Blade Master. So at least both of the top tier consumables get picked up here by FoCuS. But of course, like I said before, the plus damage items for the Blade Master, the potential was there, definitely. Boots is going to get sold for a set of Dust and TP Scroll. I think that TP Scroll is actually the first one, so never mind that. Medallion of Courage picked up from this Ogre camp, and the Ogre camp over here is going to get taken down by 120, but the item is going to get picked up by the Turret Chieftain, so lucky snipe there by the Lich's auto attack. War Stomp onto the Lich, and here comes the damage. It seems like Health Pots and Scroll of Healing was trying to be used, but another War Stomp there will be able to take down the Lich, and at the same time able to prevent the Death Knight from death coiling. So that is going to force the TP Scroll by the Death Knight there, and the projectiles were still traveling in the air, and they were able to take down that Raider just as a consolation prize. But Yeah, pretty bad positioning for 120, honestly. Able to get both his Lich and his Death Knight hit by that War Stomp. Able to just prevent him from being healed up and prevent him from like using any sort of items in the future. So that is what FoCuS is going to try and achieve again. Able to either deny the Lich from invulning up or prevent the Death Knight from healing up those key targets there. So that is the second time the Lich gets taken down, and we shall see if that is going to be even more later on. Still at 1 bestiary, the barracks is not actually producing anything, and yeah, I think it's time to go to population as it is 50 supply on both sides. Here comes another fight here, double Kodo comp with only a couple raiders on the field. A bit risky to go for such comp unless these Kodo beasts actually consume any of these Crypt Fiends, which it seems like they're trying to do. Blade Master chunked down to half health. Tauren Chieftain trying to get in a good position to go for a War Stomp here, but he is now out of mana. He does have the invuln, but he is not actually being targeted by anything. The Kodo Beast actually is going to be the main target and is going to get coiled down to death. Kodo Beast number 2 is retreating, being macroed away at about 150 health, and the Blade Master is at red health, is going to invuln up, but once that expires, he doesn't really have much to escape with. Healing Wave going to get tossed once again, and it is going to be FoCuS retreating here at 43 supply. 120 is at 50 still, and he is actually still looking very strong. One destroyer is in the air, and there's not much anti-air for FoCuS to actually deal with that, so he has to either get Berserkers or he needs to get a lot more raiders to ensnare those destroyers down. It's still tough, and because of that double Kodo, that just kind of took a lot of supply for FoCuS, and he is going to lose his second Kodo with a Coil Nova there, and yeah, again the supply drops quite a bit as well. The Blade Master still out of mana, can't really solo this entire army just quite yet, and surprising the number of Crypt Fiends for 120. Will it prove useful, as the silence did not hit the Blade Master, but it did hit the TC. So far not much else is going to happen. Level 4 on the Blade Master, not really a crucial level up there, but that is one step away from level 5. 120 did spot this Watchtower, which will just get taken down. And here comes another fight, but it is still 45 versus 49. 120 is still in the lead. Upgrades, 1-0 upgrades versus the Raiders, who are at 0-0. So again, I just have no idea what the 1-0 is used for. So here we go with the fight once again. Ensnare onto the Destroyer. This is exactly what FoCuS needs to do. Take down this one soul Destroyer, just to force these other statues to turn into destroyers as well. Statue number 1 is going to get crit down by the Blade Master, and the Destroyer is most likely going to follow suit as well. Tauren Chieftain is going to invuln up at low health, and the Lich almost be able to be taken down there, but his invuln is going to wear out very soon. Tauren Chieftain has already worn out as well, but a nicely timed Death Coil is going to save him from dead, as it seems like 120's army actually was able to get cut down to 41 supply. Ensnare onto the Dark Ranger, and she will be taken down as well. Double Kodo is still doing work, as the Raiders and Grunts still providing a good front line for the Orc army, as now 120 doesn't exactly have a front line himself. He did start adding in Banshees, but they're no tanks either, so all of this is just crumbling around him right now, as at least one of the Kodos was able to be taken down, but a nice crit able to take down the Lich before the TP scroll happens. Yeah, surprisingly that was a very good fight for FoCuS, despite what I said earlier. Able to take down 2 Crypt Fiends immediately with those Kodos was pretty good, and of course keeping that Destroyer down on the ground for a very long time yeah, just all the good notes happened. Destroyer, one of the statues was taken down early on as well. Yeah, like, all things considered, that was a pretty good turn of events for FoCuS. He is now, I believe, firmly in the lead. I don't know, he is looking for an expansion though, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm still curious to see why Banshees are starting to be added here. I guess the Turn Chieftain's just that scary, but I don't know. At least he's adding A-bombs. That is what I would at least like to see. A-bombs to try and add some tankiness to the undead army here. Banshees definitely weren't going to answer the tank problem. Yeah, just needs some way of soaking up and just body blocking the Raiders and Turn Chieftain. Level 4 for the Shadow Hunter and level 3 for the Turn Chieftain. So in terms of heroes, 443 versus I think 432? 532. Okay, so at least the Death Knight has a level 3 death coils, fluid of accuracy for the Lich as well, so that's a huge item being picked up here for the Lich. That is going to hit pretty much all these units except for the A-bomb and the DK. But yeah, it's a we'll see how it turns out in the future, because this damage buff should equalize the Kodo Beast's battle drums. Great Hole has been completed, and this is going to be a second base here. I believe FoCuS should go into low upkeep now. Yep, he goes straight into low upkeep, as it seems like 120 is also going for low upkeep, as yeah, he can't really support this diverse of an army if he doesn't actually go over 50 supply. So it's just been Raiders, Kodos, and Grunts versus Crypt Beans, A-bombs, statues, and destroyers here. We are gonna see some Wind Riders also being added here. Not sure what exactly for, but the main base is being attacked by FoCuS. Not by FoCuS, by 120, but FoCuS is going for a counterattack, and this is a lot better for FoCuS because he does have the siege damage available. And we actually do see some trolled headhunters being added to the mix here, which will be able to answer the destroyers threat if any destroyers actually pop up in the air. And here we go with this fight once again, 56 versus 56, so supply is pretty even. Warstorm able to hit a lot of those units, but the curses are happening and Troll Berserker upgrades have been completed. Blade Master actually brought down very low health, and this might actually decide it a little bit. Healing Wave going to be tossed. We do see those misprocs coming in from those Banshees, and that is just so hard to deal with. Blade Master is going to get Nova Coiled to death, and this might actually be game unless he goes for a quick Tavern Revival here. Another Death Coil able to save up that very low hit point Crypt Fiend, and it seems like the tide has indeed turned. The Blade Master has yet to return, as not enough resources to revive him. Kodo Beast number 1 is going to get taken down there. Nice auto attack from the Lich, and a Frost Nova is going to snipe that TC at level 3. Shadow Hunter can't really do much by himself, but the units might be able to carry, I have no idea. It's just so many of them have been inflicted with curse. It's just so hard to land actual hits without missing, and yeah, just those couple of Banshees were able to turn the tide here. A-bomb still alive and kicking. He most likely absorbed a lot of good damage, and the Banshees with the Crypt Fiends, no destroyers actually needed. You can see here with the Berserkers how FoCuS kind of teched to deal with those destroyers. 120 just stopped building destroyers, and that is going to be game, as yeah, 120 is going to tie this ladder score 1-all, and yeah, just could not deal with those misprocs. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I have no idea if I'm going to cast a second one today, but we shall see.